So what that?
What's going on, my friends?
What's
We are
up?
back. We are live. We are back. And
It's
we're
been a
doing it
minute,
on
fellas.
a new platform. So that's what we're talking about. How's everybody doing?
Man, it's good. It's good, good.
Y'all like the
Good,
way this
good.
looks?
We look good. Is that what you said, Matt?
I said, do y'all like the way the screen looks? Yeah, y'all do look good. Now, that is one of the things about this platform. It's 1080 DP all around. So it's a little
Okay.
bit more clarity where the other one was like 720. So that was getting on my
My,
nerves.
mine's because I got Botox 10 days ago, so it's
Oh,
Your
not necessarily.
forehead is not moving.
well, I was going to ask if your computer screen is 360. Does it really matter? Like, what are we talking about?
All right. So, all right.
Good.
Welcome back,
Yeah,
guys.
let's
It's
go.
been a couple weeks. I think it was a good break. Everybody had a lot going on. I did,
Sure.
at least, and all that. So I think what we'll do is come back tonight and just talk about what's been going on. Talk about life. Talk about everything that's happening. So we'll just go around the room and we'll start in the upper left-hand corner because upper left for me. Okay.
He said, nah, we ain't doing that today.
No.
He'll come to you first, Eric.
Nope. No. No.
We'll go lower left. We'll go lower
No.
left.
No.
I'll go first, man. Life's been crazy. Life's been busy. Work's been busy. But man, I had my baby turning 16 today, which is absolutely wild. I feel old. I feel blessed. I feel all the things. But man, it's wild to look back and see. I think we all, maybe from a dad, I think most people don't think that dads are sentimental, but like I look forward to those days, like my kid's birthday, just to go back to Facebook and look and see like all the things. And I look back like and it'll come up tomorrow because it's day 2. His second day born, like he was smiling. So I look back and like I can remember that vividly, like holding him and like smiling and being like, this kid go give me a run for my money. So, fast forward to his 2, essential Fear of God hoodies that I got him this morning that are not his right color that he can't wear, and now I'm like, I'm gonna send you back to being 2 days old, bro, and like we'll start over again. But yeah, life is good. Life's been busy, challenging stuff, obviously, like everybody else. But today just super thankful, super blessed for a 16-year-old, man. It's wild.
Diva.
Yeah. So first, and I want to shout out the Charlotte Hornets who are in their playoff game, who is hopefully going to win. Yes, I have caught the Charlotte Hornets spirit, so I'm going to represent tonight. They down by a bucket against Miami, but it's going to be all right. I got a good feeling. Got a good feeling about tonight. But mine was had an opportunity to go down and watch my little girl perform this weekend in Daytona. And so we got a little running joke in our household about cheerleading and whether cheerleading is a sport or not a sport. Being a dad of all girls, I have lost that argument consecutively and repeatedly. So, but after being down there, I am here to tell you, and I am a firm witness that cheerleading is a sport. Like, I saw some of the most athletic young ladies and dudes, I gotta add, competing this weekend and just did the thing. And it was kind of bittersweet for us this weekend. My little girl, who's a sophomore at the greatest university of North Carolina,
Heels.
all Tar Heels, yes sir. We're on our way back, right? But she's a sophomore there, technically. However, it was really good to see her. 2 weeks ago, she participated in an event where she had an opportunity to showcase their talents, and they did quite well. Well, the week leading up to them going to Daytona, she got injured, and she tore her a partial tear in her MCL. So she was not able to participate. And so, like, I don't know how many of you got Netflix or whatever or watch that, but Daytona this weekend was when they have like the best of the best cheerleading. And so she had an opportunity to perform in that, and she wasn't able to showcase her talents. However, I saw a different side of my baby girl. She had an opportunity to kind of put forth her leadership skills, and I had an opportunity to see her kind of cheer on other cheerleaders, kind of rally her team and pull them in tight and pull them close together, and just remind them why they're there. And so, like, my leadership heart was absolutely full.
Yeah.
To see my baby girl take full control, sometimes as much as the coach, if not more. She has a little bit of my personality, so she may be a little overbearing at times. But she stepped up and she did the daggone thing, and she was able to congratulate her teammates, to give them pointers, to point them in the right direction to where they should go in order to be successful for what it is that they had planned. And so that was just exciting to see because I've seen her on the mat before doing her thing. However, to see her in this arena hurt when you had a great example of when you should, not should, but could bow your head and be like, hey, woe is me. She stepped up. She stepped up. She answered the mic. She stayed focused on the mission at hand. And so, being a veteran, being, you know, quote unquote a leader, it was very exciting to see how we still need to stand up and strive in the face of adversity. Regardless of what it is that we're facing, we still have an obligation to our team. We have an obligation to ourselves. We have an obligation to our family, to those who we say we're trying to pull forward. So to see her kind of step up, rise up, do her thing was just tremendous. And I'm just a proud professional dad at this moment, being able to witness that and take that in. Although I had to drive 10 hours to see it. Still love it.
Worth it. Worth it. Anthony.
Ooh, well, just navigating the economic waters as a business owner right now. Just you got to do a lot of pivoting, pricing, a whole lot of things going on right now. As far as my kids, just getting ready for my daughter's marriage in September. That's coming up like crazy fast. Trying to lose weight, getting the suit, all that kind of stuff. Man, my son's a sophomore in college, and my youngest is going to turn 13. So, Josh, I'm feeling that 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 pain of seeing them grow up. So, but yeah, that's about it, man. Just grinding, just
When is the
going at
wedding?
it.
When is the wedding?
September 12th
Oh,
of this year.
all right. I got
So,
my son September 19th, so we're right there.
okay,
We're
all
leaning on
right.
each other.
That's right. That's right. Well, this is number two for you, though, right?
Well, it's my first marriage, first one.
Oh, is
Yeah.
this? Oh, he didn't get married. He just proposed. That's
Yeah, he
right.
proposed. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's
Eric, you
interesting
ready?
times, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ready, Eric?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just in a fog right now, man. I messed up before I got on the podcast, man. I'm just sitting here listening and just existing, just by the grace of God. I'm gonna be in the doghouse tonight. Just keep it real.
We're in the dog.
Gonna
We're
be
in
in
the
the
dog.
doghouse. We're trying to be helpful. That's all. I was just trying to be helpful, and I messed up.
Yeah.
I should have read the manual, the phone manual. But
What happened there?
it's all good. But you know what though? I will say this without going into grave details. Old Eric would have got on the defensive, would have probably tried to fight back to position myself as, hey, I was trying to help you out, you know. But the new Eric is like, I was wrong. I don't
Yeah.
know what else to say.
Yeah.
I effed up big time, not little time, big time, and I really don't know what else to say. I'll stand in it. I'll take my licks. Whatever comes from it, it's not trivial. It's a big deal, and I don't know
Yeah.
any way to make it right because I can't call the Geek Squad to get me out of it. Um, and so yeah, it's kind of weird because as I was thinking about your question about what have we done, we did so many good things the last couple of weeks, with the exception of my illness last week. But tonight just messed it all up. Ain't nothing else to say. I messed up.
Human error, man. Human error. You didn't mean for it to happen. There's no,
Yeah.
I teach when I go out and speak at speaker conference. I talk about decision making and human error, right? And there's no such thing as a bad decision, And you might be like, well, what do you mean, right? Well, you didn't set out to hit delete. That wasn't the intent.
Yeah.
And,
I don't even think that's what I saw. All those green button, gray out buttons. You hit the button,
Yeah.
you think, oh, I'm just removing an account because you really only need 2 now. You don't need this one. And then when you hit the settings, it's like, oh, you're deleting. No, I
Yeah.
didn't authorize that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's just it's all good though. But other than that, man, I'm really excited about how the boys performed third quarter, grade wise. Some little mini me's, both on AB honor roll. Proud dad moment because Ethan had an F in math at the start of the quarter. And I was like,
Okay.
dude, we don't do that in the Hart household.
Yeah.
And he grinded out a B, and I saw him putting in the effort the entire quarter. It was just wonderful to see.
That's great.
Just him doing it, and I didn't have to say much. I just set the expectation. Was like, dude, man, you can't walk in this house in April with an F. Let's just go ahead and be real. And just to see him grind, he cares. It matters to him, and it's good to see it matter to him. Josh, we've laughed before about sitting in a truck riding and driving, just wanting to just beat the horse and talk. This time I didn't have to say anything, but just here's the standard. And when we get to this point in April, I better see something different, and that was really cool to see him do what he needed to. So they needed the break. Spring break came at the right time. We needed the break. We're going through transition. Just things that will make you just throw your hands up and say, okay, Lord, I'm done. Enough is enough. But then I get to thinking about other folks that I know have it worse than me, and I'm like, what do I have to be sad about, complain about, worry about? Have no need to fret. I feel this right now on the podcast with you guys. I feel the heat that's coming down the hallway. I literally feel how ticked off she is right now at me. I feel that.
Yeah.
But despite that, when I think of it at a macro level, I have nothing to complain about. God is good, and He's continuing to bless us, bless me, and I know He'll get me out of this situation. I know He will.
Yeah, it was.
But nah, it's been an interesting, literally an interesting month. It's been an interesting month.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well,
Hey, did you try Control Z by any chance?
I don't know
Did
if
you
that
turn
works.
it off and turn it back on?
I did. I don't remember how I did it, but I lost something of Tisha's one time, or we lost it. I don't know if it was me or her, but I was able to get it back. I don't remember how I got it back.
I don't know if you can get this back because she no longer has the password access to the transition. Can't get back into their server.
Yeah, that's right.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, you
it's,
were Matt, how about you?
Yeah.
it's,
What do you need? No, I'm just kidding. Now, as far as me, gosh, it's been a couple of obviously interesting last 5 months for me. But once I got that cancer-free diagnosis and got it all cleared medically for the flying, man, I've been flying. So I've flown 3, the Darlington race, the Martinsville race, the Bristol race this last weekend. I went and flew the jet last week. I went and flew, and then I got a couple weeks off and I go fly the jet, again in a couple weeks. So that's back off and running. Tisha and I were able to go to the beach with some of my best friends down to Destin. That was fun. I got sunburned the first day. Was out there in full sweatpants, a couple of days in a row. It was bad. Woo, it was bad. And then, but that was good. And then, the new Convene platform. We are literally right around the corner of launching it. It's incredible. Very proud of my guys for doing that. And so it's going to be amazing. But I was talking to somebody today. I mean, when we talk about our kids, Megan called me this morning. She needed to double check, something. She's getting ready to move into a different apartment. So she needs something for that. She's finishing up her 3rd year medical school. She's getting ready to take her step 2 test, so that's big. She's gonna be doing hematology oncology as a doctor. That's pretty cool. Then Braden calls me right on the heels of that. He just got done He's been interviewing for about a week for a promotion. He had just gotten off a phone call with the VP of one of the VPs of Milwaukee. Said he felt like it went real good, and he should know within 24, 48 hours if he gets it. And then you got, Laney, senior at the University of North Carolina, and getting ready to graduate. And man, she interviewed with Penske Automotive Group out of Italy. So, so we're working.
Chip off the old block.
Yeah,
Yep.
so we're working through that and she'll have to go to there and get on a study visa. So she'll have to go get her master's degree and then work for Penske Automotive Group. Penske over there does high-end cars, BMW, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Maseratis, all that. So it'd be kind of a cool experience. But hey, if you're going to do it, go do it now, where you get married and start having those kids and, settle into life. So, man, that's, my three kids, man, that make a dad proud right there. They're sprinting, and they got it from their mom, I guess, because I don't think they got it from me. Tisha, the nurse that she is and all that. So pretty cool. So it's been a good couple of weeks, but busy couple of weeks, just like everybody. But yeah, again, thankful to be back on here with you guys because it always helps coming back in. And I went and saw the Hornets play a couple weeks ago with my son too there, thanks to VetTix.
I can't get nothing off your VetTix app, by the way. Hey.
That's good. But yeah, so that's good. Yeah, everybody's got good things going on. And, I think it's, I'll go ahead and say this, and you said it, Devo, but everybody else has said it. How important is it that we're all present? And that's the key. So somebody pick up on that. I mean, just our presence in our relationships and our with our kids. I mean, I think that's so important. Unfortunately, I'll give you the bad side of it is there's, for Tisha and all that and the pediatric ED, there is a lot of kids, or the psych beds are full. 24 bed unit. She hit me up the other day. 16 out of the 24 were psych beds. And you know what she says to me all the time? These psych beds, guess who's absent? Guess who's absent in a lot of the cases? The dads. So who wants to take that on and talk about that? Because it's so important that we're present.
Man,
So
I think
important.
I think I've learned that it's sometimes it's the little things. I mean, I've got one in college that is the relationship has been what it has been for the last couple of years and trying there, but just being with my son, him being the age he is and trying to think back of like my dad being present or their kids, and just being able to see the transition honestly with him, maybe I think with, hey, dad's there, and it's just this slow grind, and Eric's gonna get there, Anthony's there, already been there, Matt, you guys been there. It's this weird, like, if he calls me bruh or dude one more time, not and it's funny because but like not even in like the joking man, but it's like in this disrespectful almost, like when you're telling a story like, bruh, dude, he was like doing this, dude. I'm like, if you dude me one more time, like I'm your dad, I'm supposed to protect, I'm supposed to help, but just being present and having a conversation. We sit here and have dinner every night, whether we're at the table or we're watching a game or something, and put the phones away and all those things. And I used to get so frustrated with, whether it's my phone or his phone, or just not being able to talk and kind of break that barrier, to be able to see some slow transitions. And again, it's not our timing. It's, sometimes we're like, man, I wish this would hurry up. But then Matt on that end, Anthony too, even Debo, like kids getting older, and you're like, man, but I'm seeing this little pieces of him being, maybe it's him being proud, maybe to me be his dad. That's maybe what I'm feeling as a dad. Like if they're treating you a certain way or whatever, you automatically take that to heart or you get upset. Now it's like his friends come up and talk to me. He's like, oh yeah, my dad's this and that. So like that sort of thing. I'm like, okay, we're getting there. Like I've been here. Like where you been? But I think it's just and it's probably maturity for him, but it's good to see that us to be able to go do things together and it not be this distraction of a phone or a distraction of other things going on. We can actually just kind of be. So you guys saw the stuff on on us going golfing. Like that was last week for spring break, and he just picked up golf and got his mom got him clubs for his birthday, and I was like, hey, you want to go to the driving range? He's like, yeah, like let's do that and let's play. I played 2 rounds, so then it's just kind of something else that we can kind of talk about, which has been pretty cool. So I think the big thing is just if you getting frustrated, if you're listening, or Eric or Anthony or whoever's listening, like it's frustrating. It's dads, we take it differently. We want to beat the dead horse, but just trying to stay consistent and stay present, because they're not going to remember. And I was just talking about his birthday stuff. He's not going to remember what he got on his 16th birthday other than his vehicle, which he got 8 months ago. But he's not going to remember the hoodie he got, or he's not going to remember the meal he will remember the meal, or he will remember the first time he took me to Dave's Hot Chicken was on his birthday. So that's that importance of creating those memories, because the stuff's going to fade. He's going to stop wearing it. The style's going to change, whatever. But it's those times being in the present that I am learning that are like, okay, this is actually what it's all about, and it's being magnified. So long my part, but go ahead. But it's cool. Very, very cool.
Who else? That's all we got.
So my daughter has this cup of ice water in my freezer, and I wanted.
Love it. I love it.
I was like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it. And she freaked out. I cannot take it out of the freezer. It's been in there for months. And I was thinking the other day, someday she's not gonna care about that cup anymore, and I'm actually gonna be sad about that. I'm gonna want her to care that I'm taking this cup out of the freezer. And so, because time marches on, and just to jump on what Josh was saying, it's about appreciating that moment, like, because it's another one's coming, that one's gonna be gone, and you're not gonna get it back. So have a full level of appreciation of each moment that we have with the kids. And I co-parent also, so like there's times I don't see my daughter for 5 days in a row, my youngest. And so like when I am able to see her and spend time with her, it's so important that I'm just there. Like I don't care if we're just sitting in the same room, but just being present, because I have 2 older ones. One's getting married, one's a sophomore in college also. And so, my son comes home, scared the crap out of me the other day. I didn't expect to see a man in my house. He just walked in my apartment, and it freaked me out. But it's good to see him. But like, don't see him see him for a month at a time. So I'll just say, like, that's a big thing, and just appreciate those moments, because they are fleeting.
Yeah.
So
They're
It's
fleeting.
tough. I
Yeah.
think that 5 days or 3 days or 4 days, like Anthony, I don't know if you did. Like I went through a time, and I'm gonna say it because I was like, thank goodness, he gone. Or there's that time where you're like, okay, I need my time, and then as you get closer, or the same interest align, you're like, what the heck am I supposed to do? Not that we don't have friends or date, or if we're married, or a job, like none of that, but it's like, man, like I kind of miss him, or I kind of miss her all the time. But it's like that need when they get to that certain age. It's like, man, this kind of, you're back to like when they were, and I went through it when they were younger. So I go back to like, oh shoot, they're 5, they're 7, and I can't do this. And now I'm like, okay, it's good. And now you're back to like, man, this kind of sucks. Like, bro, when you coming? When you coming over?
Yeah.
So it's weird.
That's right.
It's weird.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, so, Megan has been in medical school, and she's been working so hard. So she calls her mom up. I think it was a call over Christmas. She looks at Tisha and she said, "Mom, can we go on a trip?" So that's her asking her mom to go on a trip, because they haven't gone on a trip. They haven't done anything. Now she's been able to do stuff with Lainey, because Lainey's here and Lainey's always around, and they've done a couple things together. But I look at Tisha and I'm like, you got to go, because your daughter is asking you to take her somewhere. She's asking for it, for just you and her and all that. And so they're going on a trip out to Scottsdale, Arizona, to this place not this weekend, but the next week. That was, saying that be coming back, at the 30th or the 1st. And I'm like, you have to go, because you got to spend that time. And then, to your point, Anthony, now you got Lainey trying to work it out to go, and those, Lainey and Tisha, they spend a lot of time together. Now you got Lainey trying to run and go for 2 years to Italy to work and go to school, you know. So those fleeting moments, you know, that's what they are. And then you got Braden getting ready to get married, you know, and he's on to his life, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And it's fleeting moments, you know, that you have to. That's why Eric. That's why we said you got to go to Disney, you know, a couple years ago, because these are fleeting moments that you can't get back. I've probably taken too many trips, spent too much money, taken too many trips, gone too many places, spent way too much damn money, but I can't get it back. Right? Those memories are going to be. They're going to be making their own memories coming up here. Not that we won't have time to make memories and do all that,
Sure.
but it won't just be the Fab Five anymore. You know, it won't just be the five of us going on a trip and stuff like that. It'll be, you know, them doing their trips and us doing a trip together as much as we can. You know, but
Yeah.
so when your daughter comes in and says, "Mom, take me on a trip,"
Yeah.
you got to go. You know, put in that extra overtime, make it
True.
happen, whatever it takes.
That's right.
I'll go ahead before anybody else goes to speak for Eric and Anthony and Debo and myself, Matt. We'll be your Fab Five if you're paying
Yeah.
all day.
all day long.
That is
All day.
correct.
day.
We'll,
No, that
hey,
is
Matter
we'll
of
let
fact.
you pick where we going.
Well, I just throw it out there to make it easy for you. Let's go to Greece. It's about 10 ahead. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Yeah.
We don't want to debate where we're going. We're going to Greece. That's where we want to go, Matt.
This year, but where are we going next year?
Hey, it don't even matter. Don't even matter.
That's right. Yeah. Just be in the moment.
Yeah,
Right.
it's been the moment.
We want to spend that time with you, Matt.
Hey,
That's
I've said this before, but one of the most freeing things that I think my wife has ever told me is like, it's not my dream or it's not our dream, it's your dream. And so I think it comes a time or a point in every man's life where he has to decide, like, what are we doing and why are we doing it, right? And so, like, a lot of times I think it's kind of innate, or at least it was in my life, where I felt like I had to climb this corporate ladder and I had to hit each rung like 18 months after the next one. And so, like, I was always focused in on trying to build what I think is wealth. And shoot, let me say that, my good Christian word. It's not wealth, like, it's egotistical value, right? And so, like,
That's
my
good.
wife told me, like, you're living your dream, like you're satisfying all these things for you. It ain't for us, because we's good over here. And like, you have provided, like, relax. And so when I finally was able to get that through my head, that it's not about monetary, it's not about the car that's in your driveway, it's not about whether or not your neighborhood has a gate. It's about the memories that you create as a family and that you cherish and that you hold on to or that you lock into. Like, those are the things that propel your family forward. And it took me a while to get there. Like, it's still kind of takes me a while. I get lost every once in a while, except for now, you know, brother, you know, he eat peanut butter jelly sandwiches. But to that end, I don't stress about money, you know, and I'm sitting here thinking about faith, and I'm thinking about what God has told us is to be true. Is like to put that on him. Like, he's gonna take care of everything, right, Eric? Like, brother, like, if anybody's going through right now, it's you. Or I would assume to be you, right? And so, like, believing in him that he's got this. Like, your steps have already been predetermined or
Yeah.
ordered or thought out, well thought out, beyond your simple brain, right? And that's the part that I had trouble understanding. And so, like, knowing that is such a relief, man. It's such a burden lifted off of my shoulder. Like, you know,
Yeah.
brother, like, you know, I feel like I'm at
Feeling
my high
light,
school
light.
wrestling weight, 135 again.
Like
you know what I'm
light.
saying? Yeah, like, I ain't got to handle all this. Like, dude over here in my corner, my big bro, he got this, you know, and he gonna pull us through. And so, like, that's, like, as a dad, when you grasp that, or when you can start leaning into that, or when you can start giving away that, I think is so valuable, man. Because I think a lot of times as dudes, we just get lost in the myth. Like we think our job is to go out, hunt it, kill it, skin it, bring it back, fry it, put some sweet baby rays on it, and then put 2 pieces of white bread on top of it, right? That ain't it. Like that ain't it. And so we have to best understand our role and our role that God has designed us to be. And brother, I tell you, like I'm a lost poodle when it comes to this. But slowly he's opening my eyes and he's bringing me back to the fold. And so I say all that to say, Matt, you're absolutely right. It's all about memories. What type of memories can we create for our family that are positive? Like I think of my pops, or I think about, I shouldn't say that. Eric, you and I promised we wouldn't talk about our pops, right? so like I think about my situation and knowing that, it was always the wrath on the other end, right? It was always that wrath that was glaring us in the eyeballs. But just knowing that we can create situations that's going to be joyous, or maybe not even be joyous, but teaches our kids how we were there and we stood tall in the face of adversity. Like that's exponential. Like I don't think it's hard to put words to that. And so like that's where we need to strive to be, to get to push through, to show our kids, hey, like believe this thing is bigger than us. And the more that we press into that, I think the better we'll all be in the end, is my little 2 cents.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
Eric, Anthony, y'all got him out? Nothing.
Eric?
Well,
No.
I would tell you, like to that point, when you talk about your dad and all that, I mean, it's tough because I'm sitting here and one, I'm getting older, but also my dad is too, and I never forget that one of the biggest car rides to this day that we ever went on is I just broken up with my high school girlfriend, and we're in the car, and I thought life was over. It was done. I mean, I'd been with her for a long time, off and on for 3.5 years, and I thought that was it. And I just remember the advice he gave me is, some of the best advice I've ever gotten. I mean, dating is part of the growing process. You may think there's never going to be anybody else, but you're going to find somebody else. And I've had those same conversations with all 3 of my kids. That same conversation me and my dad had. I had it with all of my kids, the same one. And but that's one, to me, if I look back on it, that's one of the most cherished car rides that I've ever had with my dad. Like it sticks out like it was yesterday. And so, I mean, again, it's about being present for your kids, present for your family, and just being there. I think of those poor kids that my wife talks about in the hospital, that don't have a parent, parents that want them, don't have parents. You've seen it, Devo, in school, there's a lot of kids out there that don't have families that want them, and it's a hard thing.
I think you're to that point, Matt, is I think the dads that do show up, and the moms, but since we're dads, but I'm talking parents when I say dads, but the dads that do show up, and it's in that in-between time that I was just talking about, where they don't get it. Like, hold on a second. Like, how many of your friends at school, their dad doesn't show up or their mom doesn't show up? Work, they live somewhere else, whatever, and trying to get them to understand, it's almost forced. Now it's just, and maybe it's, I'm with Devo, like, we just beating it into them. Like, I'm here. Their dad's not here, but now it's coming to fruition, like, hey, like, Dad, are you okay? Like, how come you're not here? Like, hey, like, bro, I was there. I had to leave her. Like, I think it's that where the dads that we're fighting against the stereotype too, because especially if you're me and Anthony, like with the co-parenting thing, we're fighting against the stigma of deadbeat dads, or not doing this, or we're never going to do enough, or the baby mama or the kids, like whatever it is, we're fighting against that. And then to get our kids to, when they finally understand that huh, yeah, I noticed that my teammate's dad has never been to a game. Like that was my dad's thing. My dad's dad, my dad played sports like me from 5 all the way to high school. My grandfather never came to one of my dad's games. My dad played football, basketball, baseball. Never. From 5 to high school, never.
Yeah.
And my dad said, I'm not going to do that. Like, that's not, I want to be there. I want to coach. I want to be involved. And I think it's a little bit of part of that, of breaking that stigma of that for us. It's a lot of pressure, but the kids to understand that too. And when that finally clicks, that's when, I mean, that honestly, like, that's when you can make the memories because they're tolerable. Like an ungrateful kid or a person, I hate it. Like, bro, what do you like? My son and I'll probably he's upstairs, whatever. Like, I got a plug for Essential Sphere of God. Y'all know how those are. Like, he looked at the price tag today and was like, Dad, you paid $120 for this hoodie? No, son. You know darn well that I did not pay $120. But, and this is what and he's like, Dad, I don't really like them. I don't really like them. I'm like, I'm sorry? He's like, well, I don't know if I can.
What size are they?
Like, exactly. Like, shoot, trust me, they'll fit like Under Armour on me, but I'll rock them. but I'm like, is that thin line between should I have just said, hey, what color do you want because of his age, and then me going, no, I want to get my son that as a dad. Like, I want to get that. And it's trying to figure all that out. I'm like, no, and he's not ungrateful. He's just being honest. Like, I want you to be honest. Like, Dad, I'm not going to wear that color. I'm like, it's oatmeal. And he's like, it's actually not oatmeal. I'm like, that's what it said, But I think so it's just that going from them being us feeling that they're ungrateful or they don't care or they don't want us around to what you're talking about as we still have to show up. Yeah. We can bite our tongue later. We can talk about it on a podcast or when we get off the podcast, like, listen, I wanted to punch him in his throat, whatever it is, but we still have to show up, and we can't let them see that we're frustrated, angry, had a bad day, all of those things, which we as men do all the time. Our kids need that too. So long answer to all that. But that's when that flips to them going, yeah, Dad, I could probably rock that. Or he's like, you put that on. You should have seen. I wish I'd have been on here. Me trying his small. Now, Sphere of God fits a little bigger, but he's like, it looks good. I'm like, son, I look like a Charlie Brown, like with a tube top. Like, it doesn't look good on me. But that's a moment. Like, I'm sure he goes to school tomorrow. If he wears it, because we're washing it so he can shrink it a little bit. Like, my dad tried this on yesterday. That's a memory for him that he may or may not say that, but he's going to remember that. So it's just those little things. Good or bad, they're memories. It's like your Dean talked about. Good or bad, you're being talked about. So I don't know. We just all have control issues. So I don't know.
For sure.
Memories.
Well, one thing I kind of add to that point there, Josh, I think it's really important too, just to kind of recognize where your child is developmentally. Mm-hmm. Like, my oldest is getting ready to start grad school, and so like it feels like the last 3 years we've been having this same conversation, but it's really only been 3 months, and so we've been talking about her going to grad school, and so like I come from the school of thought of you need to make sure that you know how things are going to be paid for. Like, you need to understand the costs. You need to understand what resources are available to you, and you need to go get those resources, right? Well, She doesn't come from that same school of thought, right? So she's just like, things will handle itself in due time. And so I called her probably about 2 hours ago, and I'm like, hey, baby, how you doing? How was your day? And we have this small talk, and I'm just like, well, you know how your dad is, and I'm just getting a little concerned that, we're 3 months out from grad school, and we're still have a couple of things that's undecided. And like, your work wants to give you, according to you, wants to give you this scholarship. That's pretty significant. Have you checked into the details of the scholarship? Well, my boss tells me that I'm good, and not a whole lot of people have applied. And so my brain is just like about to explode, right? And so I'm like, they say, like, who are they? First of all,
Who's they? I
Like,
love that
tell
when
me-
they say it.
tell me
They
who
said,
they is, and like, does they have
Yeah.
a name and an email address? Well, I can confirm with them.
right.
And so, like, she's talking me through this whole process, and she's like, essentially, I'm good. It's in the bag.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, no, because we don't even know where the bag is.
Yeah.
And we have to check in on the bag, and we have to see who the actual decision makers of who's producing the bag. And like, it's just all these different steps that she's just not worried.
Yeah.
And here I am as dad. Like, I'm not trying to pay for anything that I don't have to pay for,
Yeah.
right? And like, again, I don't believe that people should pay for education. Like, there's lots of different ways to access education.
Yep.
And if you choose to go to the university, there's resources there, and you need to make sure that you explore all of those, especially when you would be able to do that. And so, because, yeah, your daddy ain't got it like that. And so I do have a couple of dollars, but I'm trying to keep those.
Yeah.
And so, like, we're just talking like through this and through that. And I'm telling myself she's an adult. So, like, it's not like this whole child relationship. And I think as dads, I think it's very, it's very important. It's very essential for us to remember that our children are adult. And so, like, we can't strong arm them to making any type of decision. So we have to ask a lot of questions. And like, I can only think what you and what Matt and Anthony are going through with their daughters getting ready to get married, right? Or daughters and son getting ready to get married. And it's like, like, hey, I can tell you some things, but it's probably come off a lot easier if I just ask a whole bunch of questions and try to get you to realize a different perspective, not change your mind, but just know that there's other facts out there that you may have not seen, thought of, heard from, lived through, or witnessed. And so our job as dads is just, I believe, is exposure and trying to get them to better understand and better equip them with the reality of what this ugly ass world is willing to give them at a drop of a dime.
I said it probably 10 times a day. She's like, I sent you the email, and I'm like, yeah. And on that email, there's a email address where you can request a meeting with the admissions people. And I'm like, did you send the email? And you know what I got? I did. I kept saying it like 10 times. Did you send the email? Guess what I got? Bruh. I was laughing when you said that because I got the bra, and I'm like, send the damn email and ask for the meeting and let's figure it out. I'm like, we can try to figure out all these, answers on ChatGPT and reading the website and all that, or we can set up a meeting.
Or we can ask.
we
we
can
can
ask.
decision makers.
We go right to the source, And I'm like, golly, I'm like, and you can just keep saying it, and they'll figure it out. I had the conversation today with the lady that works with me, and we are talking about, so she's the lady that does our scheduling. She has a son who's now 26, and then she has a son who's getting ready to graduate from college. And then we got Lainey getting ready to graduate from college. And then I got Megan, obviously, where she's at medical school, and then Braden. And we are joking about how it took her son, that's 26, a couple years to figure it out. It took Megan and Braden a couple years to figure it out, getting on their own 2 feet. And now we're the last two, you got Luke and Lainey, and they're just like, make a phone call, fill out the paperwork, do it. And you're still just guiding them. But to your point, Devo, you don't want to do it for them, because the only way they're going to learn how to do it is to do it and figure it out themselves. But man, it's like herding cats.
And they have all the resources
Oh yeah,
to do it.
they do. They'll figure it out.
Right, we're driving to school, and Hudson's like, "You see the game last night?" I'm like, "No, I didn't." He's like, do you know who won this? I was like, I didn't see it. He's like, I don't know. I was like,
ESPN
I,
scoreboard.
I'm driving. What you want me to do? You're asking me like you have or look it up or where's this at or where's that? I'm like, bro, I don't know. Just look it up. Well, where? Google. Like the other day, like I asked him something the other day. We were driving, and I said, look up whatever so you can. The castle in Mannequin Sabat. We were in Richmond. He's like, where's the castle? What's that? So I showed him on my phone. He's like, where's that at? I'm like, well, it's down this road, whatever. He's like, what's the pictures look like? And I'm like, well, look it up. He's like, what? And I said, look it up on your phone. He's like, okay. So this is not against my son because he's extremely smart. He's like, what am I supposed to type in? I'm like, what? Like they're not teaching, like, and it's not him, it's all of them. But like, how can you figure out everything else? Snapchat, social media, all your things, but like just type it in. All you have to do is type it in. Like, and it's like and it's not. I think it's they want us to do it for them. As I think you guys' point.
They don't just want us to do it for them. The problem is we have done it.
We have done it for them. Yeah. Correct. Like
done it.
Because if I was here, I would be like, grab my phone, like, bro, it looks like this. Instead of going, just look it up, bro. You have the same phone I have. That's how I do it. Are you really? You can't do that, or you just don't want to? I think that's the problem because it's given handed to them.
Yeah, I often say just because you ask don't mean I have to do it.
Correct.
Right?
Very true.
Yeah.
True statement.
Very true.
Yeah.
Eric's like, please monitor the small ones. Please don't tell me you get first. No, like I said, it goes like this though. And Matt, Devo, you guys have the oldest ones, but it goes like this of like, okay, we're good, and then it just like nosedives, and you're like, you got dumber. Like this year you got dumber, and then you're like, oh, what happened? And then it's just the whole time. But there's no manual for it. There's no manual for it at all.
No.
So
Figure it out.
Matt, you said something earlier, and I want to touch on when you were talking about when your dad said that, like the girlfriend or whatever. And Matt, you've given the advice to me. You said it like, there's always more what? There's always more women.
Yeah.
And there's always more money to be made.
Yeah.
The two things that men, suicide, depression, all those things, those are our two things. And we get so hung up on that at 15, 16, 30, 40, 60, whatever it is. Divorce falls through, dating falls through, money, job, whatever. And we think that it's never going to be, we're never going to meet someone, we're never going to make enough money, we're going to lose all these things. And it's like, there's so much money out there, to Devo's point.
Sure. People
giving it away. And there's also so many people. There's 8 billion people on the planet. Like, somebody gonna like your dusty self. Like, they will. Trust me, they will. Like, but I think we get so caught up in that's the arrogance or the ego or we have to, and we're not learning the lesson that Devo started this whole thing with is, he always said he's gonna provide. He makes sure the birds have food. He makes sure the lilies are there. He makes sure all of those things. And we're so much bigger, more important, more whatever than those things. He's not ever going to let us down. He knows what we're doing. He knows the steps. They're guided already. We just get in our own head.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, one thing that amazes me when you talk about some of those things, Josh, is like, you can get knocked down to your knees, and you're going to get knocked down. We all get knocked down to our knees at a different time. But again, what do I say all the time? You got to, and Denzel Washington, you got to learn how to fall forward instead of falling back and not live in your trauma. And you watch so many people live in their trauma and live in the past and live in their bad things. But then you watch people complain and all that about money or whatever. It's like, no, go work, go find work, Don't just sit there and settle, There was a time, when I was doing, working for Air Medical, and I started with Air Medical, and then I did it when I first got to Penske, and we were slow building Convene. That's been going this whole time, building the platform, a couple of different iterations. But I went and worked construction with my buddy. If I want extra money, I'm gonna find a way to get extra money. If we
Yeah.
got something we need to do or we need extra money, I was working construction with him because why? He asked me, and I said, "Yep, I'll help you," and it was extra cash. And then what do now? I go umpire a baseball game. You know,
Yeah.
I wanted a Traeger grill, a smoker. You know, I wanted a Traeger. Y'all know that those things are expensive, right?
And Tisha said no.
This is like you figured out. I went and worked
Yep.
a tournament from Thursday through Sunday and walked into Home Depot and paid cash for it. That's what I wanted, you know? So, but I watch people complain all the time, you know? Don't complain. Go make it happen, you know?
I think that's
Nobody's holding you down. You're holding yourself down.
Yeah, that's the grind. I think that our kids don't see or won't see.
You know, why is that, Josh? That's a great thing. I had this was part of the conversation today, and it's part of what we're talking about. Our kids don't see it because we don't let them see it.
We don't let
Right.
them
Or we don't show them.
Or we don't show them. We're going to make it possible.
Yep.
We're going to make it possible because we're going to work. You know, look, what's Tisha been doing? They're going on this trip. Her and, you know, and Megan are going on this trip. You know, she's picked up, like in the last 2 weeks, she's picked up like 4 days of overtime. Right? Again, you want to go do a trip. You want extra money. Got the overtime. Work. You know? But Megan's not going to know that.
No.
That her mom has been working extra just so they can go have a good time. You know?
And I think that's the part. It's that fine line, and it probably would be a good podcast follow-up. But like, in my instance with his hoodies, right? $120 and $140, whatever they were. He knows I didn't pay that for him. He doesn't know how long it took me to get that plug or that connection. He also doesn't know what it cost me. He just knows it wasn't that. It could have been $5 off. It could have been half off. I could have stole it. He doesn't know that. He just knows price and he knows it's here. He doesn't know how it came to be because we don't show them. But I did tell him tonight, I was like, hey, we got to go eat. We're going to go eat at Dave's Hot Chicken. I got to be back by 9. He's like, oh yeah, we'll get back. We'll have time. We could take it back home. I'm like, no. And I did say tonight, I'm like, and again, this is free to the world, but it also goes along with Convene and my social media and what all we do. And I'm like, we can't go to Dave's Hot Chicken and get what you got this morning or do what we can do if I don't work. And that's the first time I've really said to him, like, bro, like this is work. I have to do this. And I don't know if it will register to him, but you're right. We just don't let him see it. He sees them on here, he sees them live, or he sees all those things. But to dive down to, like you're saying, Matt, we just don't tell him. Yeah. Bro, I was up for X amount of hours today working so we could do, or you could do, or whatever. I never saw my parents do that. I still don't know how my parents afforded my travel baseball in Colorado when my dad worked 4 jobs and went to school, and we went to the food pantry. I don't ever remember going to the grocery store. I know I told you that. Yeah. Food pantry or the church. I still don't know how I had all that stuff. I know I had it, but I never asked. I never thought about it. I do now. So it's just a different mindset. It's just a different.
But you got to let them know something.
Yep, true.
You do, because they need to, and I think that we have done a little bit of that. Not that it always happens, but you know, when we've been knocked down on our knees, we didn't hide it from our kids.
Okay.
They knew, you know, because I think it's important that they know.
Or say that two-letter word that they don't really hear very often.
No. Negative.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean I can't get that? That's a tough one.
Yeah.
For us and for them, clearly.
Exactly.
I don't know. That's good though.
Ooh. Eric, what you got, man? You sitting up there in the left corner, upper left, quiet.
Keep thinking.
No, I'm good, man. I don't have anything to offer because I messed up before I came on camera, and I know it's pretty jacked up to hear me say it like a broken record. But I love my kids, but I ain't thinking about them right now.
Yeah.
And just be honest with you, I'm not thinking about them right now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about my wife's broken heart over something that I can't call trivial.
Yeah.
And to try to sound like I'm a part of the conversation would just be square in a circle. So I've been practicing in silence and listening to you guys fill me up because right now, like I was excited at 8:59, 9 o'clock, it all went south, and now I know 10 o'clock is coming, and I got to walk right back into that frying pan.
Maybe you need
So
to
that's
call
not.
pray-
It's not
Brian
We
Payne.
gonna pray over it and got to thinking that it's gonna be fine.
yeah.
And
But
that
it's
you
not-
don't know
it's-
what's going on in this last hour. Because here's the thing that I'll go spiritual, and I do it a little bit, but you don't know what the man upstairs can do in an hour.
Yeah.
That it may take you a lifetime to try to fix. He could do it in an hour. He could do it like that. So
I feel
positive
you.
thinking. You
I
don't know
feel you.
what's going on in an hour,
I feel
and we're
you.
gonna be here for you.
Here's the
I don't
reality.
know who's closest, but you might want to call them in case you need to use their couch.
The reality, the reality is that this has had major upheaval, and what seems to be insignificant to me is not to her. And to be able to look back on a date because something happened on that date and now you can't find it, even though you don't really technically need it because it's not applicable to our right now, but that date was on her phone and her calendar, and I in one swoop just messed it all up, and I got to sit in that. So it was either going to be talk about something that my mind ain't in, or just be silent and listen to my brothers.
Well, Eric, I'm gonna challenge you to change that narrative just a little, man. You made a mistake,
Yeah.
right? And you own it, but change the narrative about it is not the end of the world. It's rough, but we spent. It's probably not a good time to start a whole nother topic, but I was listening to everybody talk, and a lot of the stuff we're talking about is identity as a man, and I'll tell you the first thing we are called to do is rise up and bring hope into hopeless situations as a man, right? If we need money, we go and make money because we want to provide hope in hopeless situations. If someone's hurting, we pick them up because we want to provide hope in a hopeless situation. Okay, and so we only do that because that's what God did for us.
Yeah.
And you got to remember that, man. Like, there's hope in every hopeless situation, and it is what it is. But you got to change your narrative, brother.
Yep.
You got to change your narrative. Step into it prayerfully and just but quit beating yourself up. Accept it and deal with it, but it's not hopeless. You bring hope into the situation.
Yeah, I would agree with you. It's very hard. Obviously, Eric, we know that, but because we know your heart, nobody likes to let anybody down,
Yeah.
and ultimately the person that you love so much. But again, you didn't mean to, and you know that. But the point is, right now, you let her down. And we don't like to let our spouse down. That's for sure. So. Believe it or not, we're coming up on an hour, right? So no, I think this is good. Get back on, catch back up,
Yep.
talk about this stuff. You know what? We really didn't get to the main topic of the night, and I think we ought to close with that. It's like, all right, Diva, who we gonna get up? Who else we picking up on the Tar Heels?
Well, we just lost our 5-star
You
today.
just lost
so,
the starter. You lost it. Yeah.
it was- but
Yeah, you
we
know-
did pick up that nice little cat from Virginia Tech. No,
Yeah.
I will say that.
Well, I
He's a
think
sharpshooter,
we're gonna pick up
Nicolo Kojakovic.
Yeah,
You can have them. You can have them.
Right.
They-
You say that
You can
now.
have them.
He's gonna be like
Say
Cadeau
that
did
now.
us this year.
He was
next year,
horrible.
He's gonna be on
Hey,
He
fire.
was horrible.
Hey, you
He got
got
booed at home.
Hey, it don't matter. He's
He
going to be
did.
like Elliot Cadeau, leaving North Carolina, getting
Right.
booed out of the Dean Dome, and got the most valuable player in the national championship. So that's what's going to happen.
That's how it goes.
Leave a new
That's how
start.
it
A
goes.
new start is what
Yeah.
we need. That's exactly what. Hey, we're going to get Juke from Wake too. He's coming.
Yeah.
Get that.
For the 2 to 5 mil.
That's
like-
all right. He can have.
Is it?
We're
5
gonna
mil
get
is 5 mil, brother.
We're going to get that.
That's a
Finley guy.
Penske plane.
Wait, but I read today by getting rid of by losing Mingo, and by losing Luca, and by losing
So you're doing a 3-1.
No,
It's
by
3 to
That
1
just
ratio.
listed off half the team and the girls softball team.
it don't matter.
We only got
It don't
15
matter.
players, brother.
Hey, it don't matter. By losing those three, you know how much money we saved? We saved almost, between those three guys right there, it was almost $7 million that was going out to those three guys.
And
Do y'all
so-
hear what
Well
we're
said.
talking about? Do y'all hear the fact that we're talking
Yeah.
about college athletes
It's horrible.
that's exactly
making
what I was getting ready to
$5
go to.
million a year?
It's horrible.
It's
The
a
worst.
bidding war.
Yep.
Hey,
And
but-
so, like, these are young men who are 18, 19, 20 years old. We're throwing a huge bag at them, and then we expect them to go out and be men.
It's horrible.
Like, you can't do that. Like, our minds aren't wrapped like that.
No. Did you see though that I will say, throwing my man at Virginia, that he retained everyone?
6 of them? Oh, okay.
All
Yeah.
of them. 67. I don't think Chance has kind of made his thing yet, but like for a school, because Virginia, look, the money's there. We know that. They just don't spend it. For him to be able to retain and pick those people, and they're talking about having some big time transfers come, and I'm like, they're getting paid regardless. Is they went
Right.
from 0 to 100, it's broken. They got to rein it back, but it's too broke now. I don't think they can fix it now. I think it's done. I
They
think
might
it's too
figure
broke
it
to
out.
fix.
They got to figure it out. It's just so bad. Like, because again, I mean, I agree with you. You want to have a team where you're retaining your people. So we'll give Malone like a year or so to retain his people, you know. But Hubert wasn't going to retain anybody, unfortunately. I mean, I love Hubert to death as a person, but man,
Yeah.
you got guys that leave UNC and they go to other schools, and they, like, almost all our guys that transferred out were thriving at other schools. You know, it's crazy.
We are teaching our young men the wrong things.
Because a lot of them, you know this, we all know this, a lot of them, these young men will get their however much money they get, and they won't make it to the show, and that money's gone.
What comes down to what Anthony just said, we are teaching them that their identity is in the money and the stuff, and
Yeah.
not who they are,
Not
or
substance.
they can become, and there's no substance to that.
So a guy, a guard that was, I've watched too many videos on this, but a guard that was paid $1 million last year is getting $2 million this year. So if they're getting $2 million this year, they're going to get 3 or 4 next year. It's gone off the rails, man. Horrible.
Yep.
I think it's horrible. And then it's not realistic. You're not going to
No, you can't sustain it. You can't sustain this type of shit
Yeah.
fest.
Yeah.
Exactly what it is.
Well, there's no loyalty anymore in
No.
most cases. You're gonna, if you don't like it, you don't like your playing time, you're gonna go for the next best thing and go for the next best thing. You know, so they got to change it. It's frustrating to me.
Yep. All right, we took 4 minutes from him.
I still want my team to be good though. The last couple of years have been horrible.
That's gonna call up Penske, be like, listen, we're gonna
You know, Penske ain't gonna do none of that.
Nope.
Oh, last story I'll tell you. So I get in Bristol this weekend. So I get young man has to. It's called the FBO. That's a little place, where the civilian aviation goes out of. But that's not where our helicopter was sitting. It was sitting over at this other building. So we had to drop off our rental car, and then they had to drive us over in a van. So this young man was driving us over in this van. Really nice kid. He's out there. He's trying to make it happen, going to school, trying to do some aviation stuff, working at the airport, making money while he's doing aviation. He's trying to get his hours and stuff like that. He says to me, I love this one, Josh. He says to me, he goes, "You'll never believe what I got to do yesterday." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "I got to drive Michael Jordan out to his airplane." And I was like, "You did what?" He said, "Because I got to drive Michael Jordan." I said, I said, "Did he talk to you?" He said, "Yeah." He said, he literally sat there and talked to me the whole time. What am I doing? What's my goals? What's my plans? He said he was so freaking nice and all that. And then he said he was sitting there holding his cigar and he had a hoop earring. I said, "Well, I bought the cigar and I bought that earring because These. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, can you imagine?
That's awesome.
Got to drive.
Here's the
my-
thing. I know there's no GOAT debate, obviously, but
No,
LeBron would never do that.
no, it's pretty cool. All right, enjoyed it, guys. Thanks. We'll be back next week. Thanks.
See
a
y'all
lot.
next week.